So Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to have to make his UFC return. So the news broke that Khabib owes federal tax services in Russia 306 million rupees, which works out to be around $3.3 million. The department blocked the accounts of the Eagle FC promotion, which is actually true. Yeah, whatever happened to that? I swear they'd done an event in Vegas, which had Kevin Lee and Diego Sanchez on it, if I remember correctly. And then just like fucking vanished, just disappeared. I don't think I've seen anything on Eagle FC since then. This could be why right here. So they've blocked the accounts for Eagle FC, a charitable foundation, and other companies. According to the report, Russian authorities suspect that Khabib Nurmagomedov may have used the money he allegedly didn't pay to the Russian state to purchase hotels and startups in Turkey and the UAE. I didn't know Khabib was chill like that. Makes me respect the guy a hell of a lot more that he doesn't pay taxes. I really respect that guy. I respect his game. But will this mean Khabib's going to have to make a UFC return? Very, very unlikely. I mean, he has to pay out $3.3 million. I don't know if he has to pay it, or maybe like he's just never going back to Russia. I'm not too sure, but that is the price that they have said. Online it says his net worth is around 40 million. Now, is Google true? Is Google telling the truth? Is it lying? I don't know. I don't know what Khabib's situation is. What I do know is, actually, I don't know. What I assume is the guy doesn't have 40 million liquid cash just lying about. I'm sure it's all tied up in investments, etc. So maybe he might have to come back for a fight to get the money quickly, because he might not be able to pull it out of these investments. So he might have to make a return, get a quick check, and then bounce out again. But in all seriousness, I don't think that's going to happen. But these are three matchups that I think would make sense for Khabib if he was to come back. Starting off in at number one, Charles Oliveira. Now, Oliveira and Khabib, a lot of people were like debating who is the best lightweight of all time. I was one of them. I actually thought Charles Oliveira. I don't think that now, after obviously he lost to Arman Tsarukyan. Khabib is definitely the best lightweight of all time currently. Probably the most dominant fighter we've ever seen in the UFC. Well, definitely up there anyway. He's definitely not top 5 of all time before people comment that below. So yeah, Khabib versus Oliveira, that would be a great matchup. Great matchup. And would make Khabib a lot of money, let's be honest. I think any fight Khabib would make a lot of money anyway, but this would be a big one. And Oliveira obviously is just looking for money fights himself. You see him constantly calling out Conor McGregor now, and I think he's the backup fighter for him versus Chandler. But anyway, who do I think would win this matchup? I'm just going prime for prime here. Khabib would dominate Oliveira, I think. Now, Khabib's striking had a lot to be desired for. It wasn't great, let's be honest, but what I could see happening is Khabib being able to get Oliveira down, which I think he would be able to, or Oliveira for some bizarre reason pulling guard on Khabib. And this is what I don't like about Oliveira's game. Oliveira spends too long on his back in full guard, to be honest. I feel like it's cost him. It cost him in his last fight against Arman Tsarukyan. It was costing him against Beneil Dariush, which is kind of hypocritical considering he got up and KO'd the guy in the first round. It also cost him against Islam Makhachev. I think Khabib Nurmagomedov, their wrestling is just different. The way they can move through positions, etc. Their grip strength, just everything about them. Like their grappling is just different level, really, to be honest. And I think Khabib would more than likely be able to sub Charles Oliveira. Next, the second fight, a fairly obvious one. Obviously, Conor McGregor is making his UFC return against Michael Chandler at UFC 303. That's a massive fight, let's be honest. Probably the biggest fight the UFC can make, the rematch between Conor and Khabib. Their biggest fight to date, I think. Obviously, Conor called for that fight after their original one. I don't really want to spend too much time talking about it. A very traumatic, can't even speak, I'm tearing up. Very traumatic experience for me watching that. I thought Conor was going to get it done. Khabib had other plans, just dominated the guy for 4 rounds and then made him tap. I fucking hate Khabib. But anyway, yeah, that would be a matchup that would make sense for the guy anyway, let's be honest. Massive matchup. Conor, though, would need to win against Michael Chandler. Or would he? Either way, it would still be a big fight, but obviously if McGregor won, it would really help that situation. And finally, in at number 1 for me, now this was kind of rumoured. I don't know if it was rumoured, but I've seen it online because Khabib's coach from AKA was saying, Khabib was back in training. And a lot of people then speculated that it was going to be Khabib versus Leon Edwards at UFC 300. What a fight that would have been. However, I'm trying to think about this. Obviously, I don't think Khabib would come back to the lightweight division because Islam Makhachev is the champion. Plus, Khabib's a big boy now. don't think he'd make 155. But anyway, Leon versus Khabib, how would that fight go in my opinion? Oh yeah, back to the Conor McGregor Khabib. Khabib would beat him again in my opinion. Khabib's grappling is just too much for Conor. But anyway, back to the Leon Edwards fight. So yeah, Leon Edwards, as we all know, great striker, has great takedown defense, and also isn't a bad grappler himself. On the feet, he would demolish Khabib. He'd pick him apart with leg kicks, body kicks, etc. I don't think Khabib would offer Leon anything on the feet to worry about, to be honest. The only thing that I think would really would he'd maybe land anything on would be because Leon is so worried about the takedown, which is kind of what Khabib does when he was striking anyway. He would be able to land on people because they were so worried about the takedown. Now, would Leon be able to defend Khabib's takedowns? I believe so in the earlier rounds. He's got great takedown defense, as I just said earlier. Plus, he's a lot bigger than what Khabib is, I think, anyway. He's the natural, like 170. He's not naturally 170, but obviously that's the weight class he's fought in. Leon's never making 155. And we've seen Leon face great grapplers. Colby Covington, now he did look ass in that fight against Leon, granted. But Kamaru Usman as well. Leon Edwards done a good job of being able, if he was taken back down, to work to a base to get back up. Would he be able to do that against Khabib? Unsure, because the grappling is very different. I think the way that the Russian wrestlers, well, the way the Russians wrestle translate better into MMA than what the American wrestling type thing would be. If you get what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, I'd have to back Leon. I'd have to back Leon to beat Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'd have to. But that would be a great fight, and that's not going to happen either. Obviously, it was rumoured for 300. Never came to be true. But yeah, pretty of a sticky situation for Khabib Nurmagomedov. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Is he going to make a return? Is he not? And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It does really help out. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers, so I would appreciate any support. And I'll see you again in the next one.